on. Okay, we're live.
All right, we're live on Facebook Live with Lori Quinn Lowenberg, our dream analyst here, who is on the show all the way from Florida. We're here with the staff and a special staff member, Kelly Ripa.
Yes, yes. Oh,
It's a very special live episode where we're sharing our inner dreams, ones that were too risque to share on live television.
so we can hold these against each other later on.
Yes.
Which is a fun game.
And no one will know about these, right?
No.
This isn't going out to anybody. This is just to our friends. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, so who would like to start with our dreams? Lori Schulweiss, I hear you're rushing to catch a plane, and we don't want to get in the way of that.
Okay.
So, Lori, tell us your dream.
It's very work-related. It's recurring. It happens every time the show goes on hiatus and we come back. My job is to hold the date for Kelly and Ryan to read every day. So I hear the music start playing. They're about to walk out, and none of my cue cards are done. I think it's a little obvious, but the markers don't work. go through tons of markers. Still, the music's playing and they're about to walk out, but it's I just cannot get the date on the card, no matter how hard I try.
How every profession has their work-related dream. You know, DJs get the dead air dream. Paramedics get the I can't save the patient dream, and you get the I can't get the marker to work dream.
I have a very intense job. My poor thing is to play with magic markers every day.
So one of the purposes that dreams serve is the purpose of dress rehearsal, and they will put us in a very real-life situation so we can safely in our head prepare, even over-prepare for what's to come. And you get it so much because you may put too much pressure on yourself. So are you too hard on yourself?
I am.
Okay, so my advice is to just drink more.
Drink more. I like that advice. Good advice on Facebook.
Who wants to go next? State your name and position here at the show.
Hi, I'm Dolores. I'm a producer here at Live with Kelly and Ryan.
Hi, Dolores.
I have two dreams. Unfortunately, my first dream is also work related, and it's similar to what Lori said. I mean, I just recently had this dream, like 2 nights ago. I had a guest, Ashford and Simpson, and I think Ashford passed away. But anyway, it was
In your
like
dream?
no, in real life.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that I had these guests, and I was just I had cue cards in my hand, but I wasn't able to write it. I couldn't get myself to write it. It was I don't know, it was anxiety. I don't know what it was, but it was the weirdest thing. And then I had my boss, Gelman, with the evil eye.
What kind of monster do you work for?
We all had that.
So that's my.
Lori, is this a problem with the boss, or is this her own issue?
It might be.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I do think it's probably her own issue.
Thank you.
You had it just a couple nights ago. So we should be able to connect it to something that happened very, very recently, in particular something that happened 3 days ago. Okay, now you can't get the marker to write on the cue cards, and you try to get in again. So my first question is, has there been a communication issue with you recently?
Yeah, I would say
Do
yes.
you feel like, well, first, would you like to give us juicy details?
No.
Just share, Dolores.
You don't have to be afraid of Gelman. He's only
Share.
scary in your
and
dream.
he's not the highlight of the dream. The dream was I was unable to write the cards. I was unable to
I wasn't
move.
the villain, is what you're saying.
Yes, that was just a little side
Did you
note.
feel the pressure from him, though?
What?
Did you feel the pressure from him?
Yeah.
Okay, so you weren't able to write down what you said. In your real life communication issue,
Right.
do you feel like this other person is not hearing you?
Yeah, oh my God, yes. Okay, all right.
Lay down, Dolores.
So that's the first dream, and I totally get what you're saying. The second one is a recurring dream. That's more of a personal dream, and that is a dream that I have of my son all the time. It's like I lost him. I can't find him.
How
So
old is your son?
26.
Okay. When did the dream start?
Oh,
Ever
Years
since
ago.
he's been born?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. when he was 17. Was that about the time he was getting ready to leave the nest?
He's not leaving the.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that's it.
I miss him.
Yeah, yeah. So those are
Well,
the
when we
things.
dreamed that, you said that you lose him. Like, how do you lose him?
Like you can't find him. Like he's lost.
Like you're in a store,
I could be on the bus, or I could be anywhere. He's gone.
okay. We'll get these sort of dreams about our children. They either die, or they go missing, or they're kidnapped. When big changes are going on with them, that kind of changes who they used to be. You know, whenever a child reaches a milestone, once they start school, once they learn to ride a bike, once they start dating, that's kind of like a little death of that phase of their life. So you may find you get this dream whenever he's going through some kind of change that makes you miss the way things used to be.
Now,
All right,
was
who would like to go
Gelman at
next?
any point evil in that recurring dream? Does Gelman appear? Gelman does not.
I wasn't the one who was hiding
Gelman
your
is
son
hiding-
from you.
You find
It
out
was-
that Gelman is hiding Darius somewhere all the time.
Kelly Ripa, would you like to share?
Gosh, what were we saying backstage? I can't remember. I was just talking. What was the dream we were talking about backstage? Gosh, I can't remember.
All right.
Get to somebody
With
else.
someone
Get to
else,
somebody
John Ogle. Introduce yourself.
John Ogle. I'm one of the producers at Live. I've been having a variation of this dream my whole life. I can be in any situation, just having like a normal dream, and at some point I'll hear something, a plane, and I look up and I see a plane, and the plane always crashes. And then I always go to the plane, and I'm very upset, but I'm pulling bodies out, constantly pulling bodies out, and then I'll wake up.
Okay. And you said you've been having this for how long?
As long as I can remember. A variation of this.
Okay, so let's first start with why we get recurring dreams. There's two main reasons we get recurring dreams. One is that it's connected to a recurring behavior pattern. Whenever we exhibit the behavior, we get the dream. We'll also get recurring dreams when it's connected to an ongoing issue. Each time the issue crops up, so will a dream, or if it's just an ongoing issue that never ends, or has no resolution, the dream will keep coming until we have resolution. Plane crash dreams are common, and it doesn't mean you need to cancel any trips you have. They're usually connected to suffering some kind of big letdown in waking life. Something you had high hopes for, something you were looking forward to, looking up to, instead came crashing down. When plans fall through, when you don't get a promotion, when a relationship doesn't turn out the way you want it to. So what you want to do the next time you get the plane crash dream, look at the day before. Where did you crash emotionally? What was your letdown? But I also like how you're pulling people
Yeah,
out.
I'm always pulling
Okay,
somebody out.
That's really important because that's showing you a personality trait you have, that you have the ability to, no matter what feels like it's crashing down around you, you have the ability to pull yourself out of it. You're a survivor, man.
Okay. Kelly, do you want to? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Shelley. I'm the associate director for the show. I have a recurring dream, and I've been having this probably since college, maybe even before. It's different every time, but I can also wake up and put myself back in the dream in the exact same spot over and over again. It's realistic. It's usually at night, and apparently I'm a fugitive from some sort of authorities. In different neighborhoods, and usually there's a friend there or something who's trying to hide me while the authorities check their place. And then if I put myself back in the dream, I'm at the next level almost. It's almost kind of like a video game in that way, in that over time I learn how to get a little further in the dream each time. And this has been happening for years and years. And it's always different neighborhoods, always different friends, different situations, almost always at night. But always I'm on the run from something or hiding from someone.
Okay, so when you say years and years, would you say like a decade or like a
Yeah,
lifetime?
I've probably been having it for 30 to 40 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you've been having it that long, I'm thinking it might be connected to a recurring behavior pattern, a way you react again and again to certain situations. So you're kind of running and hiding. That's the main thing. So would you say when you're dealing with a difficult situation or you have to have a confrontation with someone, rather than facing it, you kind of just Hope it goes away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay, so that's why you keep getting the dream, because you keep having this behavior. So if you work on that behavior, and rather than hope it goes away, face it, deal with it, nip it in the bud, and get it over with, the dreams will stop, because you won't give them a reason to come back.
Okay.
How about Jason? Why don't you introduce yourself and...
I'm Jason Orsillo. I'm one of the head stagehands here. This has been happening maybe for like 5 years. So I'm usually outside. I'm being chased by someone. I don't know who it is, but I'm running, and all of a sudden it's like slow motion. I feel like it's like staggering slow, and then I just like launch into the air, and I just kind of feel myself going up, 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 and I'm kind of flying, and then it feels so real, and then I just wake up, and it's almost, I get like scared of the flying sensation.
Oh, the flying
but I'm running
frightens you.
and then I slow down, and all of a sudden just like go into the air.
Okay, so rather than that being enjoyable, it scares you.
Yeah, once I feel like I'm maybe like 1,000 feet in the air.
Okay.
And then it feels real.
Okay, that's
and
interesting, because
yeah.
flying dreams are usually like awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so how long did you say you've been getting this?
5 years.
Okay, good. So that's a specific amount of time, so it might be connected to something that's been going on for 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular situation for about 5 years now you haven't been wanting to deal with? Tax evasion or...
Probably. I don't know. I have to think about it, but maybe. I don't know.
Look at relationships, any
Great relationship.
health issue you might not be dealing with. Because when we're running in a dream, it's because there's something in real life that we are not facing and handling. Okay, now let's jump to the part where you kind of go up into the air and it gets scary. That tells me that it's connected to something you feel may be getting out of hand, where you don't feel you can control it anymore. Is there anything like that going on?
Sure.
Is there something you can do about it in real life that you're just not doing?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, we'll do it, and then the dream will stop. Recurring dreams are the way we nag ourselves about issues that we're not taking care of or that we're not handling correctly. The dreaming mind is very brutally honest, and it doesn't like complacency. And we will nag ourselves to death when we don't handle something correctly or we ignore something. And so we get the same dream over and over and over again. And when you take care of the issue in waking life, the dream will stop.
Thank you.
So,
You're welcome.
Christine, did you have a dream for us?
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm a producer on the show also. It's kind of a reoccurring dream that I'm sleeping in bed and there's an intruder in the house and I'm paralyzed. I cannot move. I can't scream. I can't do anything. And sometimes I'll wake up from it and I feel like, oh, okay, that was just a dream. And I'll fall back asleep and I'm right back in bed, can't scream, can't move, can't run, can't do anything.
How frequently does this happen?
I haven't had it in a while, but it's, I don't know, a couple of years, I guess.
Okay. Well, what you are experiencing isn't actually a dream. It's a really interesting physical phenomenon called sleep paralysis. And here's what's going on. When we go to sleep, our brain waves slow down to a point where we are paralyzed so that we don't act out our dreams. Once we enter REM sleep, our brain releases a chemical so we don't act out our dreams. So you are literally paralyzed. Now, when you haven't had a good enough sleep or you're having a fitful night of sleep, you can start to wake up before your brain can reactivate your muscles. The falling asleep and waking up process is actually very complicated. A lot of things are turning off and turning on. So sometimes we can get stuck. And you're stuck in this state of mind called hypnagogia, where you're asleep and awake at the exact same time, but you can't move your muscles. You know you're in your bed, but it kind of feels like a dream. So you're in both worlds at the same time. But it's also really scary. And for some reason, when we have these experiences, there's some kind of presence in the room. In your case, it's like an intruder. Sometimes people think it's a demon, a ghost.
An alien.
An alien, yeah, that's a common one. And the reason why is because when we're stuck in the state, the amygdala, the fear center, the emotional center of the brain is very highly active. So we're way more frightened than we should be. But it's perfectly harmless. And if you give yourself just a few seconds, you'll snap out of it like that. But what I like to tell people...
Much better.
The key to keeping that from happening again is make sure you have a sleep routine, you get enough sleep. But next time it happens, I tell people, take advantage of that really cool in-between state where you're asleep and awake. And rather than being frightened, be aware of what's going on, and then just see if you can make yourself fly. Turn it into a lucid dream, because you're that close to being in a lucid dream. You can float through the wall. You can make Brad Pitt appear in front of you. You know, have fun with it.
Does it have to be Brad Pitt?
There's a documentary about that on Netflix, about that phenomenon,
Yes.
about sleep
Yes.
paralysis.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. You should watch it. It's really interesting.
Let's do one more. That would be Jason.
Okay.
Introduce yourself. And
I'm Jason. I'm on the digital team at Live. So mine isn't really a recurring dream, but it's a recurring place that I've had multiple dreams in.
Okay.
It's a park, and I've never been there.
Okay.
But it's like I've had dreams there since I was a kid, and it's the exact same place every time. It's like a huge park. I've had good dreams there. I've had bad dreams there. I've had dreams where I feel like sort of like unsettled or anxious, like lost in the place. But then I've had dreams where I'm just like enjoying being there.
Okay, so it's like a central park, not like an amusement park.
It's more of a central park.
Okay.
There's like a playground that's like old and rickety and kind of creepy, but then there's like
Oh,
a nice...
that's an interesting and
Yeah.
important detail.
Yeah. I had spider webs in the playground.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, and when did this start?
I'm not sure, but since I was young.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting. Okay, so you know how we tell ourselves we need to go to our happy place when we're dealing with stress? This is kind of your happy place brought to life, you know? But your happy place is rickety and has spider webs. So do you stress out way too much?
A little bit.
Because what's so interesting is the rickety playground with spider webs. That tells me that's a part of you that you're neglecting and you're not giving enough attention to. You're not letting yourself have fun. You're not in touch with your inner child as much as you should be. And maybe you're way too hard on yourself. And the dream is kind of showing you that part of yourself in the form of a rickety old playground covered in spider webs to show you need to bring this part, you need to revive this part of you. You know, be more carefree, childlike. Do things on a whim, you know. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. And when you change that behavior, you'll probably stop getting that dream.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
it'll
I've also
change.
had good dreams there, yeah.
It'll change and they'll be fun when you're in the park.
Yeah.
And maybe that playground, you know, will be shiny and new.
so just
I
a
have-
couple
I have
things.
I have a question.
ahead.
Did you say we had a digital team here?
Yes, Kelly. One of them is holding the phone for Facebook Live.
Oh, is that the other member?
Yeah.
So there's two members.
Yeah. So a couple of, speaking of Facebook Live, some people are writing in some quick questions. Tina wants to know about, she has a lot of tornadoes in her dreams. Is there a meaning of tornado?
Yes, recurring tornado dreamers are common. You're not alone, Tina. And it's especially common for women. Any kind of weather in your dream is going to reflect your emotional state at the time, because our emotions are the weather of our mind. Tornadoes are all about worry and anxiety. And if you get tornado dreams a lot, you're probably a card-carrying member of the Worry Wart Club. And these dreams are showing you what you're doing to yourself, what your psyche looks like when you're letting your worry spin out of control. And you'll notice that the things you tend to worry about are probably things you can't control. Just as a tornado is an act of God, there's nothing you can do about it. So if you can find a way to let go and let God, as they say, just, it's out of your hands, just go with the flow, the dreams will taper off and eventually stop.
And then Mitch says he's back in college in his dream, and he puts off writing a paper, and there's that anxiety that he's not going to get it in time. And I know my kids always say that they dream about school-type dreams, but even some of the staff says that too.
Yeah, we'll get dreams back in high school or college when it's been 10, 20, 30, 40 years since we've been there. And I have found that school dreams are most often connected to career or your job. Because school holds the same pressures. You have to be prepared, you want to keep excelling, you know, you want to fit in, you're being tested and judged. So what was his where he's got an exam?
Yes, he has a paper due, and he's not getting it done in time, and he has to do it
Okay,
in 2
so
hours.
when you get that dream, first look at what's going on with your career. Does this dream kind of fit what's going? Is there something you need, you know, are you in a job where you're always up against deadlines? Or is this a personal goal? Did you want to be a certain place in your career by this time and you don't feel you're going to get there?
So, Lori Quinn Lowenberg, thank you very much.
Wait,
Staff.
we're not going to hear Demonstrate?
Well, you know, someone,
We wanna hear
Christine
about
sort of took my dream. See, I do have the, she stole my dream. I dreamed that Christine stole my dream. No, what happened was my dream, I have that you want to scream. Something horrible is happening. You want to scream, and nothing comes out, kind of thing. So you feel kind of powerless. And then I also find when you're talking about the flying, when I do yoga and I get into a meditation, that sometimes I get into this spot where I feel that I can like lift myself up over and be looking down and kind of direct myself. And I have kind of in that half sleep phase sort of felt the same thing. But you kind of explained both of them. But those are two things that happen in my life.
Yeah, so when you meditate, you do kind of go into that in-between state, the hypnagogia. And it's really cool if you look at it scientifically, the way our brain waves slow down with each phase of sleep. That first phase, the hypnagogia, or the alpha stage, is where your brain waves are what we call the rhythm of genius. They're working at such a frequency where you can come up with great ideas. You know, if you're an inventor, that's where you're going to get the way to fix your invention. If you write music, if you play guitar, if you're an artist, that's where you're going to grab your ideas.
Well, thank you very much again. Information is on our website. The Netflix series you're talking about is called The Nightmare.
The Nightmare.
The
Yes,
Nightmare,
yes,
yes.
correct, yeah.
And, you know, hopefully we'll see you on Facebook Live again
Thanks,
very
Lori.
soon.
That was
Thank
great.
you.